This is the Hodgepodge Artist, and I'm Angela Marie. And today we will be, this is a video of me kind of experimenting again. I take a color sheet print off from an Etsy shop. I'll link it down below. And I use my Faber Castel Pastel pencils and I outline it. This is to kind of wanted to experiment with ways that you could use a jelly plate differently. And like I said in a previous one, I was part of the Gel Print Summit, and one of the presenters, we used pastels and charcoal to print, and then they also took tissue and quote unquote glued it on, or used mixed medium gel or gel medium to adhere it and pull it off. So this, I wanted to try it and see if I could successfully do it. So this first section is me just outlining with different colors, and you will see what did and didn't work with that. Here it is all colored in on the tracing paper. And the next thing I'll be taking out my large gel plate, putting it kind of on the side, pushing it down, using something to really get a good print. As you can see, the pastels are always lighter on the gel plate. The charcoal remains pretty dark, so if you're always wanting a standout image, definitely use the charcoal. The next thing I do is put gloss gel medium on it and let that dry. For the next stage, after this, I will take out my acrylic paints, and I'm using mainly So Flat acrylic paints, and I'm going to color in certain areas and see kind of how that goes. So I'm going to let the music play again. The reason why I painted the back is to just give it some more definition, some more variety, and so I also wanted to do texture, so I sprayed the acrylic paint with a water bottle. It kind of breaks up that acrylic paint when it's wet, and I will use a baby wipe to kind of also take up that added moisture, kind of make it just kind of splotchy, but in a good way. And then I pull out my container of tissues and napkins, and I pick out a few things. And the next thing I do is on the empty spaces and kind of behind that middle, I pull out pieces and glue them down. It doesn't glue it, it'll come off the jelly plate just fine. I did learn that, and you'll see that later. Excuse me. And so I use the gloss medium, and yeah, make sure you put on the bottom and the top and get it kind of sealed in there. Then when this is done, I will let it dry, and then once it's dry, I will put the final wet piece or paint on it, put the paper down, put books on it, and let it dry for a couple hours before I pull it. Okay, here it's dried for a few hours, and I kind of curl up the edges to make it to pull easier. I pull the jelly from the paper, it's much easier. And I take a look at it, and I've lost a lot, some of the paint came off, but I also lost a lot of the definition in the pastels there. So right now it's in the ugly phase, and you will have lots of times that your art is in the ugly phase. You just gotta figure out what you want to do differently. So I decided to retrace the tracing paper with the black charcoal since it does stand out so much. So that's what I'm doing here. So here it is retraced, the parts that I wanted to accentuate, and I'm putting down the print again, and then some gel medium over it, and then I used a piece of plexiglass on the gel plate to do my best to line it up. It's not perfect, but it definitely was better than if you saw my video previously where it was real loosey-goosey, so that plexiglass made a big difference. And if you can see, or you couldn't see very well, but the charcoal did show up easily. So then I decided to put kind of like a title on it, or just something extra. Here is a strong lesson because when you're doing jelly printing like this and you're stamping words, you want to actually do it opposite. So this is a lesson here for me definitely, because I do all this, and you will see that when I go to position it, it's backwards. So yeah, I put the gel medium on, excuse me, wipe it up, or I mean put it across there, and then I put my thing down, and then I realize, oh crap, like it's backwards. So I thought I was just gonna go with it, and then I was like, no, don't do that. So I flip it around, I'm thinking about what I need to do, panicking, and then I pull it right off so nothing came off from it because it hadn't dried yet. So now I'm cleaning the plate, and that's another thing about the pan pastels you need to worry about. They will stain quite a bit. So to clean my jelly plate, the black part is on the opposite side, so that's not going to come up. But to clean my jelly plates, I use hand sanitizer and really scrub it good. That usually works on acrylic paint, but I found that the mineral oil, that's what I do to kind of prime it, get it back to that jelly, that kind of oily part. Now for the pan pastels, the mineral oil really got it up good. So here I am cleaning that up, and then you'll see me do the same thing again, but in the correct way. And now the final reveal of what it's going to look like. I slowly pull it up. A lot of times if you pull it backwards, it'll work better. I don't know, the pan pastel does show up pretty well, but it's kind of blotchy. I don't know if that's I had too much gel medium or what, but it actually kind of goes with what I made. So there it is finished. Things I've learned is I do like the pastels and the charcoal. I think it's a fun way to make very unique looking things. And what I didn't like is the tissue paper didn't really show up very well. It's very hard to see. So if I was going to do that, I'd make that more of a focal point. So let me know what you think. Let me know how you would have done anything different. Comment, like, subscribe, do all the things. And thank you for watching.